有哪些是值得大家就是感悟的，所以非常开心他今天能够来到这里跟大家分享。George 的话我讲过很多次哈，他是 one of the most networking person， 他也会跟大家分享一下在他进入白宫是怎么样用 networking leverage 找到这个 position， 又怎么样 make big impact。George 确实是做了好多的社区服务的事情，为我们亚裔为华裔做出了巨大的贡献，为1代2代3代4代都奠定了很好的基础，所以非常的感谢。现在我请 Lisa 出来， Lisa 你先介绍一下龙鹰卫视好吧，你的介绍是
大家好Cathy 你好非常高兴哈，今天有机会在这个平台跟大家见面。我简单介绍一下哈，用中文介绍一下因为 George 他听不懂中文，所以我们尽量简短。我大概说一下，就是龙鹰卫视，我是叫 Lisa Gray， 我是龙鹰卫视的创始人。那么当时创建龙鹰卫视呢，那个创办的是基于就是服务社区，建立华裔和亚裔与多族裔社区与政府之间的桥梁，为华裔和亚裔发声，展示华裔和亚裔对当地社会的贡献，从而提升族群呢在主流社会的影响力以及地位。我们呢同时呢是注重于培养青少年在社会的这个担当和使命感，弘扬传承中华文化，促进东西文化的融合，同时呢要讲好中美故事哈，这个非常重要。那么我们节目呢涵盖文化、经济、科技、生活、娱乐，这就是我简要的介绍一下龙鹰卫视。
看见没有 ，Lisa 一出声就整个气场就非常不一样哈。我们这个
非常感谢，
很棒的主持人，谢谢你。
没有，我今天也非常荣幸哈。那我多加一句，我当时呢就是创建这个龙鹰卫视也是基于我过去的这些背景。我曾经是在英国广播公司做制作人兼任记者和主持人。那么现在我们是不是就正式的开始？不想耽误大家太多时间，我们正式开始今天的这个对话 George 的这个讲座，好吗？
好的呀，好的呀。
Okay, let's start. Probably we should start talking in English. George, how are you?
That would help me a little bit.
Nice seeing you again. I'm so excited.
Good to see you. Always good to see you, Lisa.
Yes, I'm so excited. You know, we have known each other for some time, and I really appreciate what you have done for the community, and it's excitement for us to have a conversation again.
Yes.
You know, today it's the last day of AAPI Heritage Month. So
Indeed.
I think today's seminar it's special. It's the API Heritage Month special. Is that right? So let me start the first question. I know we have lots of questions today.
Yeah, you do.
And,
you do.
You know, but I talk a lot. But since we only have you and I, when I start talking, it's nonstop. But I'm sure people coming here, they wanted to listen to your story and to give them advice how to, you not only help them in the career and also helping them how to, make impact to the society. So let's start the first question. That's related to the API Heritage Month. And I want to ask you, what is the significance of the API Heritage Month, Asian Heritage Month, to you or to the community?
Yeah, well, first of all, I want to say to Cathy, thank you to Cathy, always include me in most of every project she has when it comes to career management. We've been doing this for about 20 years. And Lisa, it's always good to see you, and I'm looking forward to our conversation. You did ask a lot of tough questions. I'll try my best to answer them. To starting out, I just want to say hello to everyone. I'm going to supplement my conversation with, if you go look in the chat box, information you could take take back and go on and read more about it, including the Asian Heritage Month. What I'm going to do is try to do a split screen and figure out how I could get the information to everyone, and with a more reasonable approach to this whole thing. The Asian Heritage Month actually started officially by President Carter in 1978. Started as a week. It's a week of celebrating Asian heritage. For Asian Americans, it's a big deal because we generally don't get recognized by the mainstream American, the importance of who we are and how we belong in this country. And in 1992, President Bush actually made it to be part of the 1 month celebrations. And that's a big deal because, again, going for the history of Asian American, Chinese American, come from an environment where we're not even recognized as citizens, to a whole month celebrating our heritage, that's a big deal. And to us as Asian American, a lot of people go about their life not realizing, who we really are as part of the country. So the Heritage Month, I say to people, you should celebrate your heritage every day. But Heritage Month is the time for you to come and recognize who you are, plus recognize who your community is, and actually how you can support each other. And don't let anybody tell you otherwise. We are a major part of this country, and we should demand attention from other people, our accomplishment and our rights as a citizen. So this is a big deal to the community. Unfortunately, I have to be honest, a lot of Asian men don't even care. A lot of Asian Americans don't care about the Heritage Month. It's just another month where they go on to live their own life in their own environment. And this is where we have to stop. Just being Asian American, just being Asian is not enough. Have to be part of America is also very important. Hopefully I'm not giving you a lecture. I just want to kind of wake people up and figure out what we are, who we are, and we could go on from there, Lisa.
Actually, when you mentioned, we should have AAPI Heritage Month, Asian Heritage Month every month. That answer is not from you only. Recently I've interviewed so many people, regardless of our own Asian fellow friends or American friends, they all say, you know what, we should have a API Heritage Month every month. I wish that can happen. Yes. So now let's talk about your journey. So today, the title is how you transition from a farmer to White House. So your journey to the White House, what steps were important to establish yourself for White House position?
Yeah, so I just want to back up. I mean, we kind of kiddingly Farmhouse to the White House to come up with a method of showcasing my career in a way, not necessarily to say I did a great thing, but actually is to showcase the fact that someone who was like me, born in a pigeon farm in Hong Kong, immigrated in America, and a lot of times you can't even get close to the White House. And I was fortunate that I actually spent 2 years as a senior advisor for a very special unit under President Obama to help Asian Americans to gain access to federal resources in the business portfolio. So, and to me, I wrote a lot of articles, and one of the articles actually I'm writing is, what does it really mean to be part of from the White House? It's an opportunity for me to maximize my career potential, but also opportunity to help other Asian Americans. So that journey is somewhat unique that I went, as Cathy and Min did a great job of showcasing my path, going from a computer science person to a corporate managing a business, then took early retirement and started being an entrepreneur, and then worked for the community for a couple of years, and then transitioned to the federal government. And within the federal government, I had the opportunity to work with people from the White House Initiative, and they invited me to join to the special unit responsible for advocacy for Asian Americans. So it's a long journey, and always kiddingly with Cathy, there's really an unexpected journey and most unlikely journey. And not to say I did such a great thing. I didn't become the president or anything like that. In fact, it's not possible for me because I wasn't born in this country. A lot of Asian Americans achieve great things, and they are actually part of the White House as senior staff. But you look back at their background and potentials, they need to be there. And a lot of the people with the potential cannot get there. And this is the conversation I think Cathy and I are having in this whole idea of MyT.Coach, how every one of us can maximize a career. We got 100 people on call. Not everyone could be a CEO. Not everyone could be senior vice president, but everyone should have opportunity to maximize their career potential. And that's what MyT.Coach is about, how we can help them to maximize their career potential. So this is a long answer to your simple questions.
No, that was good. And I'm sure lots of people want to hear during your time in the White House, and is there any challenges? Let's see, what were some of the challenges you had to overcome to secure your White House position?
Yeah, so my position is really unique in the sense that it's not an appointed position by the president's team, but it's a request for technical expertise. Now, I was part of the U.S. Department of Commerce at the time, where my job is to help minority business. And that did include Asian American business. So a very slight portion of my job is for Asian American business. What's unique is the White House unit that is run for Asian Americans will take me away from just covering for everyone to cover only for Asian Americans. So that's what's unique. But in the sense that because it's unique, it's very challenging because everyone wants to be part of the White House leadership. In fact, every time there's an election, everyone to be the commissioner, everyone to be part of that team, but they only have 4 or 5 people on that team. But what we did as a technical expertise, I came in as a what we call detailee. That is, I'm basically on loan from the U.S. Department of Commerce to the White House leadership, helping them with the technical aspect of supporting Asian American business. The challenges I had was in such position, I'm only possibly on loan for 4 months maximum. So what we did was we make a special arrangement where it's pretty unique. I think I'm the first one and maybe the last one that I arranged a part-time position where I do both jobs. And I was able to carry it over for 1 year, and then we renew it. So with a different, perspective, and I did it for 2 years, part-time. So for a lot of people who have part-time job, having 2 part-time jobs means that you have 2 full-time jobs. So that was very challenging from that perspective. I have 6 bosses, 3 on each side, right? But eventually I figured out that the goal is to help Asian American business and actually fit under my charter as U.S. Department of Commerce Minority Business Agency, because it does include Asian American business. And you and I met in Kansas City when I was doing one of the assignments. For that assignment was unique because we're celebrating Asian American Heritage Month, as you recall, right? And my job there from Department of Commerce perspective is to talk to business people. From White House is talk to everyone. So it's unique, very unique.
But I know you said you are not appointee, but don't underestimate those positions, because I have been working with government workers. Those people making things happen, because they are the people dealing with the everyday people. Is that right?
Yeah. We are the career staff.
It's not easy to get there, George. So
I didn't say it was easy. I just said unique, very unique.
What kind of a network have you built and leveraged to get you White House position?
For that particular position needs access to all the federal agencies that have anything to do with federal government services for business. Mm-hmm. They also have access to the community. Now, I was lucky enough because I have that federal access to resources through my U.S. Department of Commerce job. And I know all the right players. Now, what's unique, if I make the call from Department of Commerce, the Department of like SBA, they would not answer my call. But I could make a call as the White House senior advisor, they have to answer the call. So that's the leveraging position to help me do my job. But the second part of the job is the community. So now you could have all the program you want, unless you have Asian American business interested. I call one of the reasons they asked me to help out is they call a meeting at the White House. They have 80 slots. They couldn't fill it. And in 4 days, I got them 20 people. I don't remember Cathy or one of them, because I've known a lot of people across the country. Now, did I know them through Department of Commerce? Yes. But I know them more because of my involvement with OCA Chicago, which is an advocacy group, and also my own Asian American Executive Network. And you and I had done some collaboration. So I have the network of business owner, and basically all Asian American Executive, many of them are business owners. So I was unique in the sense that I could take the government side and take the community side and match them up. And then we have done quite a few in the 2-year span, quite a few, I would call innovative new programs, such as Asian American Leadership Program. We did it 3 times. And Cathy actually, one of my speaker, we actually were able to do what we call doing business in Asia, basically international business. We did that 3 times. And using the same idea, government resources, using the White House name to get who I need, and also bring the community together. It's not easy to select 60 people from across the country to go to the White House for, 2 hours. Each one of them probably spent $2,000, right? A lot of people don't want to go. But what they know, though, once they in the selective group, they have built themselves access to the network. And some of them actually went to China with me on a trade mission. And Cathy actually went to the Philippines under the Obama's trade mission for APAC. So they benefit from the idea of collaborate at the highest level. And it doesn't get higher than that, right, at the White House level. And they get the benefit from it. And they have to spend the money and time, but they recognize it. And a lot of people just trust that I am doing this for them, not necessarily for myself. I don't get paid any more by doing 2 jobs, but I do get very rewarding experience by bringing people together with the highest level of government.
George, what is you good at? You're so good at networking, at engaging the community, and in communication. I think it's your quality. So that's why you're so.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Well, you're talking about an engaged community. You're talking about how important is the community. And I think what we're doing here, everything's about community. In this country, even I think people have to understand our Asians probably will have a different mentality. In this country, everything's about community. It doesn't matter the president or the senators, or it doesn't matter how high you are. If you don't care about community, you don't get there. You don't get what you want. So engage with the community and help the community and serve the community is very, very important. So I want to ask you, what message would you tell the audience on how to pursue their dreams? We're talking about American dreams. We're all immigrant. So I think
you're right. I know this group quite well. I have done a workshop with Cathy and AFI. And the people in this group is no different than me. I'm no better or less. But everyone actually have very unique talent sets. But not everyone has the wherewithal to understand what it takes to kind of get to the career level where they want to be, aspire to be, and some are not really realistic. Like I said, we got 124 people. Out of 124, not too many will be a CEO of Fortune 1000. But there's no shame from wanting to be, but you need to figure out how you get there. to get there, a lot of people misunderstood the, like you say, underestimate the power of the community. And what they do is they aspire and they go get as high as they can go, but they forgot the community. But somewhere along the line, in fact, I tell you, people ask me about people that I don't know, and in terms of how they are as a technical expert or a business person. I said, I have no idea because I don't know them. But all I know is they haven't been involved with the community, right? And you and I, you know, and I know everybody at the level of advocacy. I see people who are successful, contribute to the community, I see them. They're successful, they don't contribute to the community, but once a year come get an award, I know them too. So when they aspire to get a certain level of appointment, I don't get asked quite a few, but I'm really honest. I'm really honest with people that they are not supportive of the community. And I'm brutally honest. A lot of people hate me for it because you don't get my recommendation unless I see you in the community. Right? Because what good does it do? You could be most successful Chinese American, but you don't care about community, forget it. I'm not going to help you get there. So for everybody who aspires to get to a certain level, somewhere along the line, you're going to need the community to help you, but might as well step up now and help the community. And everybody's doing it differently. It could be as simple to being a mentor to a organization like the NAP program, Asian American Professional. You could be a business coach. You could actually help with civil rights, help solve the world hunger crisis. No, help solve the hunger crisis in San Francisco, right? Everybody can do something. And the more you do, the more you get recognized. Oh, by the way, don't start at the national level. If you're from Chicago, get involved in Chicago. In Detroit, get involved in Detroit, because eventually you could go to the national level. That's what I'm trying to encourage everyone to do. And I could give them work to do to help the community too, as you know, Cathy and Lisa. So
that's why, George, we're getting along so well. You know why? Because we're both a community person. We're both a community activist. Is that right?
Yeah. I'm trying to be less activist now because I'm retired. So.
Yes, absolutely. So let's talk about your background. I know you have a technical background. And that's how you started, is that right?
I have a bachelor in computer science, bachelor and master in computer science. Yeah.
Right. So that's technical, okay, to me.
Yeah, that's technical you get.
As a matter of fact, I admire technical. People have technical background. They're so smart. But in this country, so what I'm trying to say is that most AAPIs, most Chinese Americans or Asians have a technical background. But so you switched from the engineer to a business manager. So what advice you could give to the audience to prepare for the management position? That's everybody wants it. Everybody say, hey, I want to get a promotion. How do you get it?
Yeah.
So
it's actually the nature of immigrations. A lot of Asian American Chinese parents came to this country because of they come here for study, get a master's degree, and they stay. Right, with the exception of the refugee and immigrants. I'm an immigrant, so I didn't come. I came to high school here. So, but a lot of Asian Americans also make sure their children get money to go to classes in science and engineering. And in fact, that's part of the challenge for second generation, third generation Asian American. The immigrants tend to force them into that technical role. But once you're in the technical role, the idea of there's two aspects of management. One is managing, you can manage technical people, but so there's a management of technical people, or you can manage the business. So I didn't want just managing people. So that's a total different job. Unfortunately, when you get a bachelor or in computer science in EE or math, whatever, you don't get to learn how to do managing people. That's a totally different set of skill. So my encouragement is somebody want to get to the management of people is learn some people skill, take some classes. I'm not talking about MBA, now you talk about the business side. Talking about there's some professional training class, how to manage people, how to manage people different than managing tasks. So that's the aspect of it that there's a lot of classes now, professional development training to teach people to be management. Now, if you think about my path, I want to manage a business, but it could be a computer science degree, don't have the skill set. So before you even think you could get a job in the business, you should have the skill. A lot of people go for MBA. I went to the AT&T Bell Lab at the time, the AT&T School of Business, 15 classes. I took them all. And I was fortunate enough to get promoted to a director. At the director level, I went to Stanford, took some continuing education class and marketing and media MBA. So I learned the business side of it, and I took over a business about $100 million, and we grew it to about 400. So it's the idea of moving from engineering to management, including technical management, that require training, require learning the people skill, learning the networking skill, as we always talk about, to learn how to get there. In fact, part of what I do for Cathy is really capturing my experience into a class, and we actually opportunity as a coach to a one-on-one basis. We can actually, I'm part of the training that teaches different aspect of it. There's like 6 classes, and I'm also part of a small group coaching with working with people directly in a small group to talk about how we deal with challenges in this aspect of what you just talked about.
So what the opportunities do you see for Asians or Chinese now and in the future in North America?
I think opportunity is unlimited.
Okay.
But the limitation, unfortunately, we put on ourselves. Now, there's a reality to, if you are Chinese American, you aspire to be a CEO, there's many barriers to get there, right? And most Chinese Americans tell you start their own business, the CEO of their own business. That's not what we're talking about. We talk about and if I look at 122 people here on the list, I don't know them well enough. I would venture to guess most of them work for corporations as professional. Now you got to deal with how do you get past a lot of stereotype, some discriminations. I won't single any company, but the statistics show that we are actually not in the higher C-level management level as is the way it should be based on statistics. So there's a lot of barrier. So in fact, Cathy and MyT.Coach does a good job of providing different idea on how to deal with these things. And unfortunately, I think that the challenges for a lot of people is really figure out what they really want to do and where they can get there and how to get there and what classes they have to take to learn the skill set. But they really don't know I call the unwritten rules of how do you really get from whatever position they are to the next level within a company, with the industry. So require a lot of advice from a lot of people. And for those who generally go seek free advice, generally don't get anything because the people who are in a position get advice to you that's meaningful and impactful, they don't have time or the desire to offer free advice. And this is where the community drops off in terms of the people who want to do it and get there, or people who want to do it, don't get there. It's the ability to find people that could coach them. And sometimes you have to make investment. Some people go get MBA, some people take some, coaching. For every successful executive, there's a coach behind them. And I'm encouraging people not to just select me as a coach. You think about what kind of coaches you need beyond the classes you take to help you get to the next level.
What difference do you see between first or second generation Asian Americans in career opportunities?
Well, the career opportunity is pretty much the same. It's there. But I do know that first generation, including myself, I came to this country when I was 14 years old, kind of put a limit on ourselves, what we could get to. In fact, I tell you, if you ask the 25-year-old George Mui, he will not tell you that someday he'll be working for the federal government. Someday he'll be working at the highest level of government in terms of efficacy. But it's there for everyone who wants it and who figure out how to get there. So the second generation, my sons included, they know no bounds, right? Because we did a good job. Hopefully it's because of us, raising them in a way where they don't see the difficulties and they don't have the language issue. But the reality though, second generation face the same barriers. I tell my kids, doesn't matter. They don't listen to the first word to come out of your mouth. They listen to your face. Now, my kids my wife is also Chinese American. So my two boys look Chinese, even though they speak, quote unquote, perfect English. People don't even get a chance for them to speak. And unfortunately, this is out of 120 people. In their corporation, people are judging them, the 120 people on the line here, how they look, and sometimes just looking at their name. No, George Cowboy, what the hell is that, right? For somebody from Iowa, they don't care. They don't care what Cow means, the conqueror of the world. They just know there's some Chinese guy who most likely can't speak the language. So why would I promote them to be a business director, right? And those stereotypes does exist. And I challenge anybody to come tell me they don't. But it's how we deal with them and how we could go about taking care of the barrier. So first generation, second generation, opportunities there is how we look at it. And I have to give it a second generation. They're I don't know, braver. They have more open-minded. And that's the way it should be, right? You're more comfortable with your environment because you're born in that environment.
Yes.
Hopefully that answers your question. There's just no right answer.
Very, very, very good. Very good. And George, I know you're a can-do person. So you have closed so many deals in your career moves. So what are the key tips to close these deals?
Oh, well, I have a class that spent 2 days to talk about that, and Cathy knows this. And my slides are like hundreds
Maybe
of
just
them.
for that reason, people do need to take your class.
Well, I don't care if they take the class or not. I do want them to think about all the necessary steps to get to where they want to be. So I always ask people, the first thing you got to do is understand themselves, knowing what they want. A lot of people want to be promoted to be a manager, but by the time they get there, they hate, right? Because they don't want to deal with these challenges. They just want to go, invent something. And you don't want to be a manager. So I want people to think about what they want and come up with a plan to get there. And a lot of people say, well, I want to be a manager, or I want to run a business. Okay, then there's like 10 steps, right? And they have to go business, good. You got to go understand how to get to the next level. Good, you got that. And who's going to help you get there? Oh, you don't have a mentor. Oh, once you have a mentor who know how to do it, but you don't have anyone who want to give you the job. So you got to have a sponsor, right? So those are all the stuff that we lay out. And Cathy and I do this 8-week class, I believe. And we each one of us touch on different things. And the thing I touch on is this, I call it a more comprehensive look at closing the deal. The closing the deal concept is really look at career as a sales job, right? And people don't, I don't want to be sales, then forget about it. But every instant of time, you are selling who you are today. I'm selling who I am today. Cathy is selling who you are in the sales. Closing the deal is a very simple concept. Is I do things for somebody, they help me do something. It's almost like handshake agreement. I helped you here, I helped you there. Imagine if you have 15 people who are willing to help you because it doesn't take time for you to help 15 people. Then this is how my network is built. You know, I do a lot of favor for people without asking, but eventually they'll help me out. Right? This is like closing the deal. And what I did actually for people who don't want to take any classes, Cathy Mark created is a wonderful platform. You can actually go on MyT.Coach and look at all my articles. I have 10 articles on this particular topic. It's free. You just read it. But I guarantee you, just because you read it, it's like you read a good book, how to be a leader, you're not going to get there because you have to talk to the author, talk to people that know. And this is where Cathy and I think that we have 12 coaches now, Cathy. We're going to help you on different aspects of what's important to you under the scope of closing the deal. It could be communication. Professor Joe could help you out. It could be how to deal with conflict. Mark could help you out. Negotiation, Cathy could help you out. But I do encourage everyone, and I posted under MyT.Coach, you can look at all my articles. I think there's 12 of them now. When the way I work is once my brain starts working, I put my fingers to work and boom, it comes out article. Just honestly tell you how I feel, what I did, how I do it. Now, not everyone can be a George Mui. In fact, most people don't want to be a George Mui, right? But they could be whoever they are, but they need to understand who they are, what they want to do, and how to get there.
Great. We have asked so many questions. I think finally you just want to wrap up, but I want to get back to, we were talking about how important the community, engaged community is so important. Is that right? So here, we want to get some advice from you. Just how can Asian American help with their communities, and what is your guidance on how to get involved and make impact?
Yeah, I think I wrote down the answer when I saw that question. I forgot what I wrote down, but I'll tell you what
No, you have to say it here.
What I always tell people is find one thing that you're passionate about. Not for yourself, but something you can help other people. I know I got a lot of friends, when I say, hey, I need a mentor, they all raise their hand. So I assign them to help other people. I know when we were doing a virtual job fair, I got 60 volunteers. Some people said, I could teach a class on interviewing. Some people said, George, I could help you raise some money. Somebody say, George, I could help you get 5 to 10 companies to come recruit your student. And someone say, hey, I could get you 100 students. So everybody has some kind of expertise, but doing community work requires taking time out of your busy schedule that you can afford the time, volunteer to be on a nonprofit board, volunteer to be for-profit board, if you have the skill set, but get engaged in the community. And the last thing I say, I always tell people, make sure you are recognized as a community leader in your own community before you think you get recognized in the national level. I think I said that earlier. I just don't want to repeat myself that way, because a lot of people in Chicago think they are big fish in Chicago, but when I go to Washington, people say, who the heck is that? Well, because they haven't done it. They haven't done it in Chicago. And national level, and the same thing in Detroit. Now, Lisa, you have got a point why everybody knows Lisa now from Detroit. Right?
From Michigan. Don't just say Detroit.
You were thinking of that. But
Michigan.
You are from
I am expert Michigan.
But you're national now. You're national because you started in Detroit. Right. Okay.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No problem.
Anyway, George, thank you so much.
I'll be happy to answer the question people have. I know
conversation. I think we should save some time for audience to ask questions.
Yes.
At this point, I'm going to hand the floor to Cathy. So, Cathy, take it over.
Okay, thank you, Lisa. Thank you,
Lisa.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to next opportunity.
Yeah， 请大家关注龙鹰卫视，然后他们的 YouTube 大家都关注。
还有视频号，还有很多的其他的，就是网上搜索 Dragon Eagle TV or 龙鹰卫视。
Yeah， 谢谢
感谢大家。
For MyT.Coach, George just mentioned about the class 8. This is the last class for our group training. So we'll be studying June 18th. So join the powerful network for this class. We have over 200 VIP members whom have weekly activity and discussion, and the most powerful network for all the Chinese Americans getting together. So welcome to join this class.
Yeah, I just posted, Cathy, I just posted the link for the class for you.
Okay.
On the chat box.
So we also started the online, offline networking session. So if you travel to any places, just call for the classmates we're going to meet. So we already have New York, Chicago, San Diego, Seattle, San Francisco Bay Area, and Denver. So we have many people in Atlanta, friends getting together. We also have a group coaching class offered by George and also Fred. So MyT.Coach, can you post that one as well? At the same time, please feel free to ask questions.
I posted the ones actually starting tomorrow. It's 48 people.
Tomorrow.
I think we have 4 people now. We could actually slot for 4 more. The idea is really 4 weeks. We're going to talk, actually, Lisa, this is the element of closing the deal, which is the basics, and actually how to develop a plan. I should answer your question this way earlier. And the networking and also career transition. What I would do is really allow the individual participant to talk about their own set of situation. This is similar to a one-on-one group coaching, but because it is with 4 people, you have 4 people talking about it, and actually they can help each other, and you could develop a network of supporters. So this is a kind of lower the cost by having more people, but it still is about you, not about me, not about my career, it's about your career. And this is how you could actually make a difference and take action. And actually, one thing I wanted you to know that there'll be homework assignment here. And it's, you just can't sit there and listen for an hour and then go home and do the same thing you do. Otherwise, you're wasting your time and money. And that's what we try to instill. Creating this small group coaching is allow you to participate, allow you to try out things in a very friendly environment. As an example, everybody want to learn about networking. People tell network, but nobody actually teach you. And they say, well, go try it. You can't go try it unless you really have the basics. So we're going to have the basic train, and then people are going to talk about themselves and how they introduce themselves, and actually give assignment and go network with somebody that they need to network with. So this is a working environment, not rather than a listening environment. Hopefully that answers some question that people might have on small group coaching.
Yeah, so welcome to join. The first session will start tomorrow, which is
Cathy will tell you how to get there.
Yeah, okay. So this is you just scan this code. You could sign up for the class. Okay, so anybody in the audience have a question for George? Transition your career, community service, how to make an impact.
So there, I'm over 40 years old and it's too late to, hey, I'm 68. So at 40 years old, I think at 47, I left corporate. I spent 4 years as an entrepreneur. So that's a career transition with my management consulting firm. I spent 2 more years with working in a nonprofit setting. That's another career transition, helping small business. And then the big switch to the federal government that lasts, I think, 12 years. Within there, 2 years with the White House. So 40 is young. So unless you want to retire at 41, even you retire, you could career transition. So it's not too late.
I think one thing is very useful for Asians is that most people do have a technical background. How they transition from technical to business. I'm sure lots of people want to do that. That definitely needs skill. I think you're teaching on that too, is that right?
Yeah. Well, I also saw another.
On that too, is that right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. If that's your career path, we'll talk about how to get there.
Mm-hmm.
And I've noticed XT trading, when you manage engineer, if their workload is only 4 hours per day, much less than 8 hours per day. I don't know what that means. XT, can you explain what are you asking? Cathy, you know what's that asking?
So when you manage engineers, if they work those is only 4 hours per day, much less.
Are they getting paid 8 hours and only work 4? I don't know. What do I do about what? Sorry,
okay, so I guess the question is, if the engineers only work 4 hours a day, what are they going to do? They're supposed to work 8 hours a day.
Well, they gotta be more productive. That's for sure. Yeah, I guess when you're managing people, is really if you're part of a company and you're managing people, there got to be a good understanding on what's the management expectation. And because if you really don't perform at the management position, you could get fired. Now, in today's environment, people are very secure because it's hard to find new employees. But as an employer, as a manager, you still have to hold to what is expected by the company to you as a manager. Otherwise, you get fired. So what I do is have a pure understanding of what is your role as a manager of these people and what they're expected to produce as a group, right? And then you manage each one individually by providing a very distinct list of expected assignment and expected result, and you hold them to the consequence of not meeting it. So that's a tough thing to do for manager, is give bad performance result for people they haven't performed up to a certain level. And performing 4-hour work for 8-hour pay is definitely not performing at the same level. I'll fire them all if I have to.
But I think it depends, right? So for example, I worked in Finland for a few years. So in Finland, nobody really work overtime, but the efficiency is so high. I think they work 4 hours. It produces more than many people I work in US for over 8 hours. So it's sometimes
it's not comparative, right? It depends on what the company. It's almost like a written contract, unwritten contract. If somebody is getting paid for 8-hour work and doing 4, so it has a. Now this is also something. If this is an issue that you're dealing with, it's something we could talk about in the small group session. There's another one.
Yeah. So
you want me to answer these, or you want to pick the one you want me to answer, Cathy?
Yeah, you can pick whatever you like to answer.
I'm just looking at the chat box.
Time. Go ahead.
I feel green card is a big hurdle for the first generation career goal. Yes. I would like to chase better opportunity, but I'm worried about this uncertainty. What do I do now when waiting for green card? Green card is a necessary evil in America to work, obviously, and stay. The conversation is you got to have is who's if you are let's say you're from China, you're applying for a job that requires green card and they ready to sponsor you. You have to figure out what is it that they expect you to do to get the green card and whether or not that's a good deal or not. You have no choice, unfortunately. If you don't have a green card, then you are constantly waiting for somebody to give you a shot and sponsor you. So unfortunate reality, that doesn't mean you shouldn't plan out your career, because I ask people to think, especially folks from China, think global. America is not only a place to work. In fact, the way it's working out, I know I talked to folks from China about working for American company. The idea is that with a skill set, even if you're not in America, you don't have a green card, you could work for a American global company and still reach your career objective. And maybe you could run a branch of a global company if you can't go in China or other part of Asia. So don't limit yourself, and getting a green card is not a goal. Getting a green card is just part of the process. Your career goals is rely on where you want to be, what kind of job you want to work on, right? And then you could take steps necessary that things you can control. Unfortunately, with the immigration policy these days, that's somewhat out of your control. So, but your career plan is definitely within your control. Okay. How would you do the network with your peer or boss's peer with remote working? Well, delicately, remote, depending on, Cathy and I are remote, right? We still do a lot of networking, but there would be opportunity, I think, open up for you to build a relationship remotely and solidify it when opportunity comes. And this is where sometimes people don't like to cross personal with business. That is a necessary evil as far as I'm concerned. A lot of colleagues are friends of mine at the peer level. And if you were to, quote unquote, build a network with people remotely, and if you happen to travel, or they happen to travel, you could do what Cathy does, right? We have AFI folks from across the country, but once in a while, I remember Silicon Valley, LA, take the opportunity to meet with them for dinner. I'm not talking about, a very personal relationship. A dinner with a colleague is perfectly normal, wherever you are, to help solidify some conversation. So I encourage you to think that way and don't say it's not possible. It's possible. Cathy, you want to add that?
Yeah, networking is very powerful, regardless it's your boss and boss's boss or someone out of your network. For example, last week we have someone travel from New York to LA. We also have someone travel from San Francisco to LA. So we're all getting together. So immediately you make so many friends from different industry, different company. When you meet in person, that is very different than meet online.
Okay, I saw something here, Cathy, maybe you could address it. It says from Tiana, we're amazing workshop, but time setting is not adapted to our Beijing friends.
Yeah, I mean, if we have enough students come out of China, we could open class for China. But since all the classes are conducted in English and only half our summary in Chinese, so this currently is geared towards North America Chinese.
Yeah, Chinese or Chinese American in America, the timing. Right. But Min is from China, she's on the call.
Yeah, so welcome.
Cathy, I just want to address that in China right now, lots of the professionals in management, they do speak very, very good English. So in their English level, it's pretty high. So maybe you should really consider that.
Yes, we do. For the first 5 class, our class started, I think it's 5:30 p.m. Pacific time. So we do have quite a few from Alibaba, from Xiaomi, from Tencent join us. But the majority are still here. So for people in New York, they think, wow, it's way too late. You study at 11 p.m. So
yeah, it's difficult to accommodate the whole world,
Right. Right. That's why I'm saying we could open the class if there are enough interest from China. Thank you for bringing that up.
Looks like there's a couple more questions, Cathy. You want me to take those?
Yeah, you go ahead.
I find it's hard to push my engineers to get progress on the project. How do you push employee? I think you have to, don't do it ad hoc. Don't ask for a report when you want it. I owe it to my boss to get my status. And I made a habit. In fact, when I was working in the White House, I have 6 bosses and I have 1 report. It's done every week. So what you want to do is establish a procedure and process with your employee. Give a short status every week. So it's now all of a sudden, whenever they're done with something, right? So Kate, I suggest you, if you are you're responsible a group engineer, sit down with them. And usually cannot say no if you're the boss, right? That, hey, it's not unreasonable for a boss to ask for progress report once a week. So I would say establish a well-known process so you don't have to ask for it. It should be in your mailbox every Friday at 5 p.m. And then if they don't do it, it becomes a check mark against them on their performance report.
So MyT.Coach, can you also put the Fred's group coaching session on the screen? So that will start the day after tomorrow. So if you're from biotech, if your managers,
director, yeah, welcome, Fred.
Is welcome to join. So Fred, you want to come up and say a few words? Welcome you to join. Thank
Fred
you.
Is shy. It takes a minute for me to
Fred,
get
you
him.
can speak in Chinese if you like.
Realized, hey, George, you're older than me, and I thought you're.
Yes, I am, young man. Just make sure you pay respect to
we're in the same age group, and well, good session, Lisa. Nice to meet you. First time, and it's very good. Yeah, this is another group training session following what George will conduct tomorrow. This will be starting on June 2nd, and will be continue on for 4 consecutive weeks. Is targeting for biotech and for senior managers who are pursuing for the senior management position or executive position in the biotech and pharmaceutical medical device industries. Yeah, there are many talks and topics, and based on our MyT.Coach and discussion and our many sessions on brainstorms, we pick this 4 bullets. However, as George mentioned, if you really wanted to be engaged for our shining, bright future, you better engage, your personal board members, and then do a one-on-one frequently. That will escort you and navigate you through very straight and the career paths. So we have 4 bullets. The first session will be adopting the mindset. You have to build a mindset. Actually, Lisa and George today is all talk about, how or what, right? How or what, and so those are mindset. Your mindset determined your past. Your mindset determine your action. Your mindset determine your future. And the second is, how to become a competitive contender, candidates to secure your leadership position, and then move on. And third session will be how to articulate that, structural and build up your next role of that, you're really expecting and really want it to be. Finally, how can you be a great leader to build a great, outstanding team that's really on a journey for nothing but success. So looking forward, and I have 6 sign up right now, and I heard there are a couple to sign, and we're still open until the last minute. So please sign up, and we will have very intimate interaction and discussion. And then from this time on, you will be on the inner circle with me, and we'll be the partner and to help you to build your future of career.
Yeah, we
Thanks,
already have a vice president, a senior director, and the manager to join your group. So this will be awesome networking opportunity as well. And everybody learn from you and also learn from each other. Same for George's, group coaching.
So Cathy, there's one more question just pops up. Can I answer that, or your time is up?
Go ahead. You can. Time is up, but you can answer that last.
Okay, so with respect to building, I think that's what WRT means. With respect to build good relation with colleagues besides in workplace, do you think it's necessary to participate in some activity outside the workplace, and how? The answer is yes. How is what I call the networking. What I generally ask people to think about, with a colleague, you do the networking at home with people outside work, but you do also within work, people outside of the home environment. So what that really means is that for a colleague, you should get to know them, what they're interested in. It could be as simple as tennis, it could be simple as golf, and you do know a lot of career decisions are made by people on a golf course. So you got to figure out where they are. But if you are looking to me to network with me, golf doesn't work because I go fishing. So you might want to come fishing with me. You need something from me. But the idea is this is our networking. You adapt to the people you want to network with. And I don't want to call them the target, but they are the target of your network, right? So you have to figure out where they are. And this is where I would encourage you, if these folks are not Chinese American, they're not on WeChat, you might want to go to Facebook and figure out what they do. Becomes friends on the Facebook. If they're into hiking, biking, and you want to get to know them. And the other thing could be a lot of them do charity organizations, like if they build home for humanity, or they pick up a trash in the Lake Michigan. So things that you could do with them outside work environment. And I guess you probably should figure out that is actually where networking really gets solidified, when they get outside the work environment. Okay, that's a quick answer. But you can take the class and actually read my article on networking. Okay, Cathy, I think I answered all the questions.
Okay, thank you again. Thank you, Lisa. When you have time, you should come on to coach our students how to be a best-in-class moderator. You are so awesome. So welcome you guys to join MyT.Coach. Welcome to join class 8 and the group lessons. So 3 of you, George, Lisa, Fred, you guys, have done so much for the communities. You have been spending all your effort and time helping Asian Americans to advance. So we are so happy we have the platform to help everyone who are in need. We all need help and support. Also, besides career, we also need to be happy and healthy. So we also welcome you guys to join our daily fun fitness dance. So MyT.Coach, can you put the WeChat group up? Whoever is interested to join. This Saturday, our class 2 students, Ben Wu, who just came back. So he's an executive in Silicon Valley. He moved to Shanghai as an expat, got locked down. He just came back. So this Saturday, we'll have a networking session with him. He will share with us his stories in Shanghai, and he will also join me to lead the fitness dance. This Saturday, we'll send a notice out. Most likely will be happening at the Stanford. Okay, thank you all. Every Tuesday, 6 p.m. career session. So if you have good speakers, if you want to volunteer yourself, please contact me. I send my WeChat in the group. Thanks.
Cathy, when you say 6 p.m., I'm sorry, 6 p.m. It's that you say it's okay. All right.
Yeah, every Tuesday, same link, same time. So interesting thing is we noticed that every Tuesday, pretty much all the same people join the same session. So people always, whoever wants to learn is always learning. Thank you all. Class 8 about to start. Welcome you all. By the way, I think most people join the group coaching from class 1 to class 7. Like I mentioned, whoever wants to learn, always learning. For example, Fred Snow is vice president now. She has been joining pretty much all the training classes. She's already vice president. She's keep learning. Same with June. June is also vice president. They all grow into vice president after training programs, and they still keep learning. So it makes big difference. Learning and growing, and also as a board of directors, right? You select yourself. Thank you all. Wonderful. George, Lisa, Fred. Good night.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you.
Bye-bye, Cathy.
Yeah, thank you
Bye,
all.
bye, bye.
See you later, Lisa.
Bye.
Bye. Take
Bye,
care.
Fred. Lisa,
Yeah.
good to see you.
Yeah, so MyT Coach,
Again.
could you share 龙鹰卫视 few slides? So for people who didn't get a chance to see it.
Sure. Oh, can I share that?
I already sent to MyT Coach, so hopefully.
Right. If it can 3 slides, if she can share, that'd be great.
If not, you can share directly as well. You are a panelist, you can share easily.
I don't know how.
Okay,
I
MyT Coach,
probably.
because you send in WeChat, so I don't know if they could share or not.
Oh, maybe here. Let's see. Oh, I don't know how to do that.
We have volunteers, Yuan Cong send the everyday dance link in it.
Oh, share
Okay.
screen. Oh, I think I have it here.
Okay.
Let me see. I think. Okay. Are we sharing? Can you say it?
Let's say you have a screen sharing. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
That's
okay. And should be 3 pages. How to turn a page to different pages.
Just send the next.
Oh,
Yeah. Or key arrow down. Do you have an arrow?
This is PowerPoint?
PowerPoint, correct.
Yeah, just hit the up and down arrow on your keyboard.
Oh my. Oh.
Lisa, I'll teach you a class.
I needed to do that. That's absolutely, yes. I should take a computer class. Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe.
No, don't
Call
be.
me, we'll set some time. Call me and set some time. I can show you how to do it. No charge.
No charge.
No charge. Just call me. We'll set some time. We'll walk you through it.
Oh, this is. Oh, yes.
Just there should be an arrow
Okay,
key.
I got it. I think I got it. Oh, where's? Oh my gosh.
You just shut off share.
I
Yeah,
did.
no worries.
Yeah.
Okay, I
There
got
you
it.
go.
Okay. Here we go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, that's good.
You could do that too.
This is the one. This one is all the people.
You
We-
have interviewed, huh?
Uh-huh.
Hey, where's my picture?
I know.
Where's my picture?
This is. I need an update. The issue with you is later. This is.
No, I'm just messing with you.
looking, yeah, we should
No,
have your one. Yes,
I'm just,
definitely.
no, I remember I refused to get into it because I wasn't authorized. All right, sounds
But the
good.
middle one is our governor.
Yeah, great. Okay.
Right,
Lisa.
thank
Okay.
you so much.
That's good.
Okay, thank AFI. So everybody pay attention to AFI's seminars. They pretty much have every day on different topics.
Yeah,
Okay.
speaking AFI, yes, they've done lots of work for the community.
That's
We're
right.
talking about impact, and then that's the organization. I think everybody should mirror.
That's right.
Mhm.
Okay.
Give them applause.
Signing off.
Thank you. Thank you.
You all, and good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you, George.
Okay, bye-bye.
Lisa, bye-bye. Thank you, MyT Coach.
Recording stopped.